Consumer price rises around 0.5 in January, higher than expected as annual rate rises to 3%. Yes, guys, the CPI accelerated a seasonally adjusted 0.5% for the month, putting the annual inflation rate at 3%, both higher than expected. The core CPI ran at 0.4% and 3.3% respectively, also above forecast. So shelter costs continue to be a problem for inflation, rising 0.4% on the month. Food prices jumped 0.4% and energy prices climbed 1.1% as gasoline prices increased 1.8%. Markets largely expect the Fed to stay on hold for an extended time and push the next rate cut probability out to September following the CPI report. And we saw some ups and downs in the market. I mean, Bitcoin had a major pullback around 64,000, but buyers stepped in and pushed the price higher around 97,800. But now, since we are hovering around 97,000, what to expect next? You know, guys, I have been very clear about this move. I mean, we have to overcome certain line of resistance, and only after that we know this trend is going to reverse. I mean, a U-shape or a V-shape recovery could be on the line, but remaining above this key trend line, I mean remaining below the CPI trend line, could be preparing ourselves for a continuation like this. I mean, after some small relief rally, Bitcoin failing to regain its trend above the CPI trend line means we should prepare ourselves for a continuation in this manner. A dead cat bounce type of formation or an ABCD reversal pattern, because we are aware this resistance in between 99 to 101,000 is not just only the resistance from the CPI indicator, but we are also going to face the resistance from this Bollinger Band basis line. I mean the central line, which during uptrend tends to act as support, but during downtrend the same line acts as resistance. So since in our case we are below the central line, now the same trend line which previously acted as support will be looked as resistance. So any sort of a bullish move like this, but Bitcoin failing to regain its trend above 101,000 or 100,000, please be aware that might be just a temporary pullback, and price after that could be heading towards the original trend direction, because we know lower band from this Bollinger Band usually gets broken when the price is preparing itself for a downtrend, and you can see that here. I mean, in many cases when the price broke below the lower band, we started with a downtrend. So in our case, this is also a break from the lower band. So please be careful. We have to overcome certain line of support or resistance if we want to see a price ring an actual move. Otherwise, we must prepare ourselves for more of a sideways movement before we decide an actual trend direction. I mean, according to this Williams Alligator indicator as well, this is a bearish cross. I've been very clear about this. Blue line appearing at the top, green line at the bottom only happens during downtrend. So in our case, this is also a bearish cross, and Bitcoin is facing resistance from this Williams Alligator indicator as well. I mean, additional resistance around 99 to 101,000. So this resistance line is very, very important for us. Only after flipping this into support, we know this will be looked as a U-shape or a V-shape type of recovery. Otherwise, any sort of a pullback in the immediate short term will be just a temporary pullback, and price after that is expected to show a move in this manner, which we don't want to see, because we know Bitcoin parallelly is also following this bearish continuation pattern. We have been talking about this since a couple of days. I mean, a rising channel pattern is a bearish continuation pattern. So in our case, we have already lost the support from this lower trend line. Now, this is definitely a warning sign. So please, if the price of Bitcoin wants to show a reversal like this, right, re-entering inside this rising channel, ascending channel, what must happen? We have to overcome the resistance from this Bollinger Band, resistance from the CPI indicator, and even the resistance from this Williams Alligator indicator. Otherwise, just like as shown here in an example, we have already lost the support from this lower trend line. We must prepare ourselves for continuation to the downside, because along with this rising channel, we also have an ascending broadening wedge pattern, another bearish continuation pattern lining up for Bitcoin. I mean, the lower trend line, just like with this rising channel, has already been broken. And now if you look on the right hand side, you can see breaking out from the lower trend line resulted in a continuation to the downside. And why? Because ascending broadening wedge is a bearish continuation pattern. So if you want to avoid a move like this here to the downside, what must the price in the immediate short term do? The price in the immediate short term must remain in between 90 95,000. I mean, we have to hold the support around 90 95,000, and to the downside, if you want to see a V-shape or a U-shape type of recovery, we have to overcome the resistance from this sepia indicator, resistance from this Bollinger Band, and even the resistance from this Williams alligator indicator. Otherwise, you know guys, we have to look for the worst case scenario. I mean, Bitcoin in a weekly time frame also looks like following this double top pattern. One top, second top or two top, and now this could be a move towards the neckline. So if we want to avoid a continuation, just like I shown in an example, you can see guys, we have to find proper support in between 90 to 95,000. That line must hold the price, otherwise this will start playing as a bearish continuation pattern, just like I shown in an example. So to avoid this move, Bitcoin must overcome the resistance which I just showed you. And we know guys, if that resistance gets broken, then in the immediate short term, a rally like this is expected. I mean, even though this is in a smaller time frame, right, 4-hour time frame, if the price gets attracted towards the resistance around 101,000, then please also look around this upper trend line. Why? Because this upper trend line will be acting as additional resistance for Bitcoin. Yes guys, around 101,000 we have another resistance from this symmetrical triangle as well. And since the lower trend line has been retested again and again, we have to be careful guys. If this here fails to show a move towards this 9900, even up to 101,000, then we have to call this as a bearish symmetrical triangle breakout. Yes guys, this lower trend line here in the medium short term must hold the price, otherwise the 90,000 will be next and price could go even lower, because according to the double top pattern, you know Bitcoin is expected to get attracted in between 80,000 to 85,000. So to avoid this move, support around or in between 90 to 95,000 must hold the price. And to the upside, if you want to see a bullish breakout, V-shape or a U-shape type of recovery, we have to overcome the resistance around 101,000. So please be careful, do not over leverage yourself, and use proper risk management strategies. So guys, these were some of the quick updates that I wanted to share with you in this video. If you enjoyed my work, then please do not hesitate to destroy that like button, and to those individuals watching this for the first time, to hit that subscribe button. And by saying this, I'm signing out until next time. Bye bye.